Ousted CDC Director RFK Jr. fired her because she could not replace evidence with ideology. The former director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention told lawmakers Wednesday that she was fired last month for holding the line on scientific integrity. Susan Menares detailed the sweeping changes made to the CDC's science and policy under Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr., saying most of which were made without any evidence. She also detailed Kennedy's verbal attacks on the agency and said employees feel they were personally targeted because of misinformation, referring to a deadly shooting at the agency's headquarters last month. And she said that she's concerned about the future of the CDC and public health in America and warned what could happen when the next outbreak occurs. "I don't believe that we'll be prepared," she said. Her appearance before the Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor and Pensions on Wednesday marked her first public appearance since her controversial firing in late August. Menares and her lawyers have challenged the firing and said she would not resign after she refused to follow unscientific, reckless directives, including rolling back vaccine recommendations and firing senior staff. Kennedy generated controversy during a Senate hearing just weeks ago when he said that she was lying, but he conceded that he did ask her to fire senior staff at another hearing this month. Also testifying at the hearing was Deborah Oury, one of the 3 top officials at the agency who resigned in protest of Menares's firing. Here are the 3 biggest takeaways from the contentious hearing. Menares gives her side of firing. Menares described the promises she made before the Senate committee during her confirmation hearing and her short tenure in her opening statement. She pushed back on the public explanation given by the Trump administration for her firing, including Kennedy's claim that she told him she was untrustworthy. "None of those reflect what actually happened," she said, adding, "Today should not be about me. Today should be about the future of trust in public health." She walked lawmakers through the timeline of events leading up to her firing, including the shooting outside of the CDC's headquarters in Atlanta. She said that Kennedy asked her to do 2 things that were inconsistent with my oath of office and the ethics required of a public official: commit in advance to approving every advisory committee on immunization practices recommendation regardless of the scientific evidence, and to dismiss without explanation career officials at the agency in charge of vaccine policy. She said she could not blanket approve recommendations from the committee without reviewing the evidence and had no basis to fire the experts. "He said if I was unwilling to do both, I should resign," Menares said. "I responded that I could not pre-approve recommendations without reviewing the evidence, and I had no basis to fire scientific experts." She added that Kennedy told her that he had already spoken with the White House several times about having her removed.